Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to stand before you, to address the public, to be able to see the public, to recognize three organizations that honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. As we approach his birthday on January 15th and the federally recognized holiday, the third Monday of February, which, by the way, was the first federal holiday to recognize an African American, I think it's necessary to reinforce the message of the legacy of Dr. King, and in particular to recognize and honor those organizations that continue to do this every single day, not just the third Monday in February. Dr. King was a fierce leader who relentlessly demanded the equal treatment of all human beings. He recognized all humans as human beings. He had a message of love and peace. He sacrificed his life in the fight for civil rights, for economic justice, for worker justice, for voting rights, and the belief that the path to a more perfect union is one that leads towards equity and progress. Dr. King's assassination in Memphis took place while he was there supporting the black sanitation workers' strike, who were simply demanding fair wages and equal treatment. It was a tragic loss, not only for the African American community, for the entire civil rights movement, but for our country. And it set us back a considerable amount in a very dark and turbulent period where there were great divisions in our country, where the undertones of racism and the coded language and the dog whistles were ever present. Was a period of America that we went through before, and times feel like we go through again. In his last speech, he said, "I've been to the mountaintop," addressed to the Memphis sanitation workers. He said, "Let us rise up tonight with a greater readiness. Let us stand with a greater determination. And let us move on in these powerful days, these days of challenge, to make America what it ought to be. We have an opportunity to make America a better nation." These words ring true 52 years later, and each of these organizations that I would like to recognize this morning are out there every single day fulfilling this legacy and fulfilling this spirit, and they are doing the very difficult, often thankless work in the community, and I think it's appropriate as a county board of supervisors that we recognize their contribution. First up, I want to recognize Alliance San Diego. They were founded in 2007, literally in a closet in the ACLU. Now in 2020, they serve residents across San Diego County with free to low-cost immigration services, policy education, and advocacy to amplify the voices of those unheard, unseen, or without a powerful vested interest to advocate for them, and the promotion of democracy capable of addressing the needs of the underrepresented and the underserved. They also honor Dr. King at the All People celebration to keep his legacy present here in San Diego. This year, you can join us in that celebration on January 20th at the Balboa Park Activity Center. And here to accept the proclamation, we have Andrea Guerrero, we have Maisha Rice, and Tomas Perez. Please welcome Alliance San Diego.
Thank you, Supervisor Fletcher, and thank you to the County Board of Supervisors. Alliance San Diego was founded on the vision and grounded in the belief of Dr. King that when we work together, when we create space at the table for everyone, when we hold love in our hearts, that we can create a world where everyone can achieve their full potential in an environment of harmony, safety, equality, and justice. That is the work that we do at Alliance San Diego today and every day, and we're honored to receive this proclamation. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, when do you want them? When you guys stay for me to group one. Next up, a group that I've seen the work of firsthand. I've been out to their events, to their headquarters, to their office. Pillars of the Community focuses their work on reforming the criminal justice system to better address racial disparities, mental illness, and the lack of quality representation. They host several events that create a safe place for communities of color and Southeast neighborhoods to seek services. One of these gatherings is every month at the first Saturdays in Southeast, which supports businesses of color and has a tremendous community service component, but they do a variety of events that allow people a safe place to come to commune, to get access, to get help, to get encouragement, to get support. And they are a vital component of the 4th Supervisorial District and a vital component of San Diego County, and I appreciate what Pillars of the Community does. Here accepting the proclamation is Layla Aziz. We also have Malcolm Morgan, and let's give them a recognition for their honoring and their tremendous work that they do.
We can't top Dr. Martin Luther King, we never will, but we can keep motivating and building our community through radical love and through peace. And that's a concept that's hard for a lot of people when we challenge the criminal injustice system and we demand equal rights for all. And we do that. We challenge the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment from voting to de-incarcerating our communities and looking at some of the institutional systemic racist laws such as gangs where young people with misdemeanors go to prison. And we know that fathers in the home are the best thing that makes a resilient young person. So I want to thank Mr. Fletcher for coming and sitting down with families, and some of them have lost their loved ones in jail to death through mental health crises, and working directly with those families so that everyone can be resilient in our community. Thank you all, and thank you, Mr. Fletcher.
Thank you. No, take a picture. One more. Oh, fancy. And our third group we want to recognize today is Project New Village. They focus on vulnerable neighborhoods, creating sustainable food sources through advocacy for increased access to health and nutrition, to remove barriers to healthy food and build alternative food ecosystems. One key component is letting residents nourish community gardens. You can join this effort on January 25th for the MLK Day of Service at the Mount Hope Community Gardens. Here accepting the proclamation, we have Diane Moss, Kamal Martin, Daniel Hernandez, Lakeisha McSeal, and Kathy Smith. Let's recognize Project New Village for all that they do. Diana?
So we want to thank the Board of Supervisors. We want to thank Nathan Fletcher. Thank you. And we need to take this opportunity to say that we got a lot of momentum coming into 2020. I should say that we've been a Live Well partner since 2014. And with the support of the public and working with our neighbors, I'm able to make 3 announcements today. 1, we are now the new property owners of the property underneath the Mount Hope Community Garden. So we give much thanks to a national nonprofit, the Conservation Fund, for providing us a loan. That's it. We got a lot of fundraising to do, so I'm help, right? Second, in order to get where we want to get, and that's putting an economic development, a food-oriented development on that spot, we need people in our neighborhoods to grow more food. So we've gotten a grant from the Danone Institute, North America, that says we're going to do growing food in a way that recognizes climate change so that we're growing the food that we need in our neighborhood so we can distribute it there and have an impact on the wealth and the health of where we live. Right? And third, it was said earlier, y'all need to come out on the 25th and work with us in the dirt so you could see what we do and feel better leaving. That's a Saturday, and it is our day of service for Dr. Martin Luther King. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take a picture.